Listen with Madison.
Hey there! Are you ready to hear a story?
Marshmallow by J.J. Landis, illustrated by Brian Martin. Good morning, family. Good morning, friends. Good morning, beautiful shelf. Marshmallow was a mellow fellow who lived in a quiet neighborhood. Everyone knew everyone in Marshall's small, familiar world. Marshall had heard horror stories of sticky fingers, sharp sticks, fires, and all the other bad things that happen out there over the edge of the shelf. He had no desire to venture out into the scary world. He was perfectly fine in his cozy, safe home in between the Grahams and the bars. A day came, however, when Marshall's life was squeezed and squashed unlike ever before. For the first time, Marshall was afraid he may have to face the big, bad world he had been taught to fear. When the squeezing and squashing stopped, Marshall and his fluffy, puffy family began to relax and enjoy the calm once again. Everything seemed to be getting back to normal until Marshmallow stepped back, lost his balance, and fell and fell and fell. He landed on the floor with a marshmallow-sized thud. Time stopped for a few seconds. Marshall realized he was all alone. He had no idea how he was going to get back home. And then Marshall let loose with the loudest marshmallow sobs you've ever heard. He cried and cried and cried. When he was all cried out, Marshall wiped away his tears. He looked to his left. He looked to his right. He did not see any familiar faces. Everything was different. "Hey, over there!" a raspy voice called to him from the darkness. "Are you done crying, you little softy?" Who are you?" Marshall asked the shriveled guy under the shelf. "I'm Ray. I used to live up there too, but I rolled away, escaped all them shiny grapes. Yep, I needed to break free." Ray coughed as he spoke. "Those sour grapes were holding me back. I wanted to see the world. Look at me now. I'm free. I have a great life down here now." Marshall didn't understand why the raisin thought being away from home was a good thing. Marshall wasn't free. He was frightened. He backed slowly away from Ray. Unfortunately, he scooted right into the path of a shopping cart. Oh no! Marshall held on for dear life as he rolled around and around and around. He looked to his left. He looked to his right. He gasped when he saw some strange creature smushed next to him on the wheel. No way, this is not how it's going to end for me. He mustered all his courage, peeled himself off the wheel, and jumped. For the first time since he had been away from home, Marshall smiled. He had landed next to a jumbo marshmallow. "Hello?" he said, still panting from his wild ride. "Greetings, young lad. I am Thomas P. Patterbum II. My friends call me TP. I'm Marshmallow. My friends just call me Marshall." And with the mention of friends, Marshall began to cry again. Through his sniffling, Marshall managed to tell Thomas P. Patterbum II, "I'm scared and lost. I want to go home. I miss my family. I miss my neighbors, the Grahams and Mr. and Mrs. Barr. I miss my shelf." "Look out!" TP screamed. Marshall, not so mellow anymore, made the quick decision to hide in plain sight by standing completely still in front of TP. "What a clever fellow you are," TP told his new buddy when the danger had passed. TP was a two-ply kind of guy who was willing to help a friend in need. "Let's get you home now. Hop in." As they rolled down the aisle to his neighborhood, Marshall saw his friends and family waving at them. Marshall eagerly waved back. For the first time all day, Marshall laughed and laughed and laughed. Ray heard the commotion and came out of the dark to see what was going on. When he realized that Marshall was unable to reach his home, he summoned a crew to help. Chip the Pretzels and Mr. Twiz worked with Ray to launch Marshall back up to his shelf. Everyone celebrated Marshall's return. That night, when Marshall was all snuggled in his bed, he looked to his left and he looked to his right. He looked all around the big world. It was a friendlier place than he ever expected it to be. He smiled and smiled and smiled. Good night, family. Good night, old friends. Good night, new friends. The end.
Okay, thumbs up if you enjoyed the book. Nice.
If you would like to purchase this book for your at-home library, you can click on the link in the description box below to support the talented authors, illustrators, and publishers.
Thank you for watching, and remember to hit the subscribe button if you want to hear more read-alouds, do some science experiments, watch videos about letters and numbers, and do some really fun arts and crafts projects with me. I'll see you next time. Bye!
Thanks for watching.